ready.
Jamie, is um, Arden also joining us?
I just sent her a message and she's trying.
Okay,
All right.
But we can certainly get started. And
All right. We are live, so you folks go ahead and get started.
okay, great.
all right, well,
I would just do a quick introduction and you can get going. Hi, I'm Liz. I am the Northborough Health and Human Services Community Outreach Coordinator, and this is our January Lunch and Learn. The topic this month is January Reset. It's one of many of us I think we can relate to as we start a new year and try to make positive changes. The first part of the webinar will focus on money management with Main Street Bank's Senior VP of Marketing and Digital, Jamie Conahan. And maybe Northborough Branch Personal Banker Arden Fitzgerald will be joining us as well. They'll discuss quick practical tips designed to help you control your finances, no matter where you may be starting from, especially after the Christmas holiday and as credit card bills may be stacking up. The second half of this month's webinar will feature Northborough's Health and Human Services social worker, Caitlin Mitchell. She will focus on resetting our mindset to improve our mental health and how to set some realistic goals for the new year. And with that, I will hand it over to Jamie. Thanks.
thank you so much, Liz. And thank you everybody for being here. Really excited to kickstart the new year with financial wellness. I think it's a topic that we can all agree is pretty relevant. So today we're really going to focus on, the next 15 minutes or so to cover some practical strategies, as Liz mentioned, to help manage your money, budget for the new year, tackling that credit card debt that might be left over from the holidays, and most importantly, giving you access to free tools that can help you better manage your finances, get them on track, or just secure yourself in what you're doing today. So really our goal is to give you simple, actionable steps no matter what financial situation you are in today. So to start, why does financial wellness matter? I think anybody who is here today or listening in, you agree that financial wellness is important, and it's not just about having money. It's about feeling secure and confident in your financial decisions. And that's really what we mean when we talk about financial wellness. It's how do you feel good, secure, and have the freedom to do what you want to do? And when you have less stress about your financial situation, you actually feel better physically and mentally. So it all contributes to your overall wellness, that I'm sure is the theme of this month and certainly throughout the year, to get to a better state of well-being. Um, and whether you're working on saving for a big purchase or looking to pay off debt or just trying to make those ends meet, planning ahead can really help you reduce that stress and help you reach your goal. So, really, is it about your future goals, reducing stress, your freedom to choose, or all of the above? We're here to help with that. So I promised it's going to be action filled. So your first action item is just to take a second to write down one financial goal you want to achieve this year. It can be anything from paying off a credit card, starting to build an emergency fund, or building on one you already have, save up for a trip. Just take that time. Sometimes even just putting it down on paper helps to solidify that goal in your mind. So when it comes to the basics of money management, it's really about where's your money coming from and where's it going. And that's the first step when it comes to getting to your financial wellness. So it's really about tracking your income sources and your expenses. And there's plenty of ways that you can get money coming in, but even more ways that money can come out. So your actionable takeaway here is, over the next week, track every dollar you spend, whether that's at the grocery store, getting gas, picking up a cup of coffee, anything that you are doing, track it. No judgment. Use whatever tool works. Just track what you're spending. So there are a few different ways that you can have a budgeting strategy, because it's like working out, right? The workout that works for you is the one you're going to do. Same thing goes for your budget. the budget that works best for you is the one that you're going to stick to and that you like doing or, are more likely to do. And really, a budget is a plan for your money. So it's not a restriction. It is really just a plan to help make sure you have enough to cover your needs and save for your goals. So as you can see here, there's different strategies when it comes to budgeting. The first is one you may have heard of, the 50-30-20 rule. So essentially, what that is a formula for putting your money into different places. So 50% of your income goes to needs, and needs is anything from your rent, your mortgage, your groceries, your utilities. You need it to be able to move forward in your day to day. 30% goes towards your wants. So those are the things that you want to get. They might be, sometimes considered a need, but when you think of things like clothes, you need clothes, but do you need designer clothes? That's more of a want. So looking at that 30% going to your wants, and you want that because that's what, money in life is about. You want to have enjoyment and fun and resources to be able to do that. And then that last 20% goes towards your savings or towards paying off debt. So that is, a nice simple formula that you can follow, and it doesn't matter, what your income looks like. You can break it down in that way. Another budgeting strategy is the envelope system. So this is really for the visual people who like to see exactly where their money is going. So essentially, you can envision or have physical envelopes where you put in cash, and this envelope is for rent, and this envelope is for my car payment, and this envelope is for groceries, and you allocate cash into each envelope. Now, there are ways you can make this digital by having either separate bank accounts for different purposes or maybe creating like digital envelopes where you put your money. But the whole point of it is to just have a visual representation of each different category where you're spending your money. Pay yourself first. So this is the whole concept of before you spend any money from your paycheck, whether that's your monthly, your weekly, whatever uh, consistency that you're getting income in, take a portion of that and set it aside towards savings. So you're really paying yourself before anybody else. A good tip for this is if you have a direct deposit with your paycheck, set up a portion of that direct deposit to go straight into a savings account each pay period. So you're not even essentially looking at it. It's going to happen automatically. And the more you can set it and forget it, the easier it's going to be as part of your habits. And then finally, there's the zero-based budgeting system. So this is for the people who want to balance down to the penny, the accountants out there, the people who are into finance, the people who are all about numbers. Every dollar has a purpose when you use the zero-based budget system. And if there is any excess, then that means you didn't allocate it to the appropriate area. So you have to, readjust your budget so that every penny goes somewhere. So the actionable takeaway here is just list your top 3 monthly expenses. Identify one want that might be in your expenses that you can reduce or eliminate this month and free up that money for savings. But really, it's just, again, even if you just identify those top expenses, that's going to help you get on the pathway there. All right. So when it comes to making your budget, again, it's all about what's going to work for you. But essentially, what you're going to do is look at all of your expenses, and then gather. You can do that by gathering all your bills, your pay stubs, as far as your income. So really, just get it all together, gathered together, so you get a full picture of what is going on every month, and then start tracking those. So that's at the end of the day, the budget is your, expenses and your income, and what do you expect those to be and what are they actually? Because we promised some free tools and ways to make this easier, there's an app for that. So there are free apps that you can use to help manage your budget. So for those who like to have an app, there are some options. So we have a few here. The Nerd Wallet app is so a lot of these follow those budgeting strategies that I talked about earlier. So the NerdWallet app is the 50-30-20 tool. So it really follows that model. If that one appeals to you, then you might want to try searching out the NerdWallet budgeting app. Good Budget is an app that's based on the envelope system. So instead of having those physical envelopes, you can have a digital version in the app. YNAB, You Need a Budget, and Every Dollar. Also, they follow the zero-based budgeting process. So if you were, really into managing down to that penny, then those might be good apps for you to look at. But the actionable takeaway here is try downloading a free budgeting app, one of these ones or another one that you found somewhere that could work for you, and set up your basic income and expense categories to get you started. All right, and I see Arden is here, so I'm gonna pass this one right over to Arden.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, sorry about that. I was having can you tell it's my first time? Like presenting, I had some technical difficulties, but I ended up figuring it out. But
No
on to the
worries. I'm
next
glad you can
slide.
make it.
I'm very happy to be here too, so thank you for having me. To get into managing and paying off credit card debt, I have found either through past experience or just from customers coming into the branch, credit card debt seems to be one thing that is a common offender for a lot of people. It just seems that the interest rates seem to be it kind of holds people back from really living their lives to the fullest. So we did provide some great tips on ways to bring that debt down during the holidays. Just simple strategies too. Every step counts. So start somewhere and then just take it day by day. But with these, we have paying more than the minimum balance that requires on credit card payments. Typically, when you pay just the minimum, it's only covering the interest of the credit card payment, and you really want to start attacking the principal. That's really where you really want to start making your payments towards. If you have multiple credit cards, typically it's your best interest. It's the best idea to start with the one with the highest interest, and then just working your way down from there. Always avoid new debt while paying off old. There are some great, back to what Jamie was saying about the free apps and everything. There are some great podcasts out there that really focus on different ways to tackle that debt, and all free, which is great. So the Ramsey podcast is a really good one that talks about focusing on that debt. Even with bonuses or extra cash that you find, putting it towards that debt is always going to be the best option for you. Looking for opportunities to consolidate credit card debt at a lower interest rate. There are some really good credit card offers out there that do allow you to consolidate your debt. And then they offer, I've seen anywhere from a 0% interest for 18 billing cycles. Those are a great option to catch up on your debt, to avoid having to pay that interest. It'll be 0%, so you'll be solely focusing on the principal balance of the cards, which is great. Importance of paying bills on time to avoid any fees or interest. Late fees are always they're never small. Usually it's a pretty high fee for anything that's late. So it's always important to pay everything on time in a timely manner. From this slide specifically, make a list of all the credit cards, the balances and everything that you have. And then again, focusing on that payment that tends to have the highest interest is really where you want to go in the direction first, and then work your way down from there. And then Jamie, I don't know if you want to head over to the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Arden. Those are great tips on credit card debt. No, that's always a big one for people. So kind of building off of that, we're here to help with building savings too, because that's pretty important, for the future, for emergencies that come up, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. And I think sometimes people get bogged down in the, oh my gosh, I can't save this much, then it's not even worth it at all. That's definitely not the case. Even, whatever amount you can do is good. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and really just keeping it simple and consistent so that it becomes a habit is the most important piece that we'll talk about. So, some savings tips to help with that. First, start small and automate it. That is, I know I said it before, but I'll say it again and probably again before we're done. If you can automate things, it's going to make it that much more easy for you to not have to worry about it. Even $5 or $10 a week can add up over time, so don't worry about the amounts. And the automation. So when I say automation, I mean, if there's a way you can set it up to happen at the same time every week, every month, do that. There's a lot of, whether it's your bank or credit union's mobile app or online banking, there are options that can actually automate your savings from move this much money from my checking to my savings every week, every month, whatever level that you want that to happen. Second, keep your savings separate from your spending. So that's a big one. Some people, it's really hard to keep all things together. So having that separation really helps to be able to, make sure this is the purpose, it's to save. So have a dedicated savings account and, to avoid dipping into your spending. If you have a debit card that's linked to your savings account, unlink that, so that you can't even be tempted to take money out of the ATM from that account. So make it harder for yourself to access your savings. Make it easy to move money into it. Make it harder to take it out if you really want to set that habit. And then third, one thing that you can do pretty easily is a subscription audit. I know I am a culprit as well. I've got subscriptions to, Amazon and Netflix and wherever else it might be. And so really taking the time to gather up all your subscriptions, what's coming out every month. Do you still use it? Is it still valuable to you? And if it's not, then maybe it's time to cancel that. Because even if it is only $5, $10, $15 a month, that still adds up over time. So really that actionable takeaway is to do the subscription audit this week. And, even if you can, set up one small automatic transfer into your savings account just to set those things up.
Jamie, something I wanted to add it to your subscription audit. For all those iPhone users out there is something you can do if you want to find out exactly what subscriptions you have or what you're getting charged. If you go to your settings on your iPhone, it will tell you exactly what subscriptions you have associated with the iPhone. So that way it's nice and organized and you can see exactly what you're getting charged. That was something I learned recently, which was huge because sometimes I sign up for things and forget.
That's a great tip. Thank
Oh,
you, Arden.
it's fabulous. Free tools and tips for financial success. There are a ton of free tools out there that will help you. It will help you read what your credit is. There's also tools that will it'll input credit card balances you have, loans you have. It'll really break it down for you. So it'll really show you where your money's going and where that highest interest is coming from too. I personally use Credit Karma. I found it to be super helpful, looking for lower interest rates, different deals. It shows you a really cool chart as to where your credit will fluctuate over the years and what you did differently, what works, what doesn't work. Like I said earlier with the Ramsey show, it is a great tool if you are looking for maybe trying to find what the best way is to save money or what different financial position you're in currently. It focuses on, kids coming out of college versus, retirement funds or purchasing homes. It really covers all aspects of life for those big financial decisions that you're making and which direction you want to go in. Earlier what Jamie said, just small ways and looking to save. It's great to look into coupons, special offers that they're having at retail stores, sales, clearance. It's never a bad idea to start looking there first. And automate your savings as well. Same thing as what Jamie said earlier. I have found that out of sight, out of mind. So if you set up your direct deposit to go automatically to your savings account, you don't see it, you're less likely to touch it. Using one of the free resources available, accessing your credit score and report. different options, different breakdowns for you. So it's really what is the best option for you. But it really does break everything down. So it gives you a clear visual of exactly what you're seeing and maybe the areas of improvement for you.
Great. All right, so really wrapping it up, that is, kind of the very high level, quick and dirty tips and tricks that might be able to help you. But of course, we are happy to continue the conversation. We have our Northborough office. If anybody ever wants to visit Arden, who works out of that office there, certainly visit our website. We've got a lot of financial articles, tools that can also help with some more resources on savings and money management and everything there. But we're so glad to have been able to share some of these tips with everyone today.
Great. Thank you so much, Jamie and Arden. That was great information and really useful tips that are not difficult to put into action. You explained it really well. So I do appreciate your time. And hopefully before the year is out, we can get together again and collaborate on some additional financial literacy programs for our residents.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
Yeah, take care.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And our second half, I'm going to pass it on to our social worker, Caitlin Mitchell.
I think the best step would be unmuting first. Let me just share this full screen. Alrighty, so kind of going off of the financial literacy, usually New Year is a time where a lot of people look into resolutions and also trying to create a new start for themselves. So I kind of wanted to give some guidelines. So new year, realistic you, more realistic goals and kind of how to think about them. So generally, with the new year, there's a lot of pressure and it affects your mental health. It can create anxiety, depression. It can be a source of reflection, but also if we don't meet our goals from the last year, it can feel like there was some failures and lead to dissatisfaction. Also, some people are afraid to try to make any new goals because not being able to achieve them. We can be tough on ourselves. Also, with social media, we have some real unrealistic glow ups. Also, it's harder now, even with AI. We don't know if it's real or not. Um, but if we're seeing sometimes our peers achieving their goals or doing a bit better than us, than where we want to be, or we're not there yet, it may put on a lot of pressure for us. So, um, thinking of New Year's, we should change our minds from resolutions. We do love the word resolution with the new year to more of a reset. So, reset is basically the evaluation of one's habits, lifestyle, and mindset. So, focusing on more of those realistic goals, providing a fresh start compared to resolution, which is like a strong promise, often broad. I want to work out more. That's so broad. How do we want to work out more? What do we want to work out more? Usually theme based, mostly we see like health and fitness. Could be starting new hobbies, trying to achieve a certain goal at work or traveling, very, very broad. So reset really helps us to narrow and focus a little bit more about what we want to do and how can we reevaluate it. So you're thinking to yourself, well, how can I set a realistic goal for the year? One of the ways to doing that is kind of let's looking at what is a realistic goal and what isn't. So unrealistic goals are aspirations that are highly improbable to achieve given the time, the resources, and the skills. So my example of this is I want to run a marathon next month. That if I have not been trying to train for it, but I'm going to try anyways. So we see that there. Unrealistic, probably highly improbable, not completely. I believe there is people who could do this, but given the times, the resources, and our skills, we're not marathon runners. It takes a lot of time within our day. We have to look into resources, making sure you have good shoes, making sure you have a proper training schedule. Totally not realistic in the long run if we have no prior experience. A realistic goal focuses on more of what you can achieve in that time frame and setting a time frame. So like I want to run a marathon in the next 2 years. It's a bit broad enough timeline. I'm going to develop a running training plan to start training 3 times a week. So it's a good start. It helps to build those skills, gives us the expertise to figure out can I achieve that running a marathon and setting it within a time. We have 2 years, so better than 1 month. Um, so one of the ways of helping people creating this framework for a realistic goal is the SMART goals. So SMART goals are its name. So S being specific, M being measurable, A being achievable, R being relevant, and T being time bound. So this is kind of the framework of how we develop this goal and going through these steps. So again, realistic goal. I want to run a marathon in the next 2 years. I'm going to develop a running training plan. So this plan would be with a SMART goal, I will run 3 times a week for 12 weeks to build a consistent fitness routine. I will gradually increase my distance each week to complete a 5K in the next 3 months. Again, it gives us that time, it gives us that measure. It's I'll go back. Very achievable. Running a 5K in 3 months it may take longer for some people, but then this allows us to reevaluate. It's time bound and it's also relevant to what we're trying to achieve. Again, sometimes you got to be reasonable. Some people are able to achieve that 5K in 3 months, but we also got to be reasonable, but not everybody is the same person. May have an injury, may get sick. Don't be rigid with the timeline. SMART goals are also another place to reevaluate and change the time increase. Monitoring our progress and reassessing the goal if needed. I think it's always important. We don't always see the progress that we're achieving, but having a place to document it. So for this example, some people like to track their runs on their smart devices or write it down, pen and paper. Then it allows us to physically see the progress. And then allowing flexibility. Sometimes we're not going to be able to, we can run 3 times one week, we can run 4 times another week. So be flexible with your goals too. Don't have to be rigid and just to be achievable. So, also thinking about your mental health while pursuing these goals, like maintaining a positive mindset, is so important because we can easily bog ourselves down if our progress is not up to the way we want to be. Having a personal mindset of, oh, well, I learned how to do this skill and I didn't know it before, but I may not be achieving what I want, but I'm getting there. I'm building the steps. So giving ourselves kind of a positive mindset with that. Keeping healthy habits while achieving the goal, even with other goals that aren't health related, you know, it's important to keep maintaining the healthy habits during this time as well. Managing stress and burnout by building in your self-care. That's important as well. Even like with the personal finances, that was talked about in the last presentation. It can be stressful and it can lead to a lot of people being burnout or just overwhelmed and not really knowing what to do, but knowing what is personally would help you on your self-care. or having your self-care tools easily accessible, that is good to know. So figuring out what is your self-care and how to make it easily accessible during those times of high stress or feeling like you're going to burn out. Also, excuse me, long-term wellness over short-term success. So with goals, we want to be successful. That is, a high priority. But at the same time, if we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not being well, we're not going to be able to achieve those goals, in a short period of time. So valuing your mental health in this process as well is very, very important. And overall, it will help you get to your goals, even if it takes a longer period of time. Knowing when to pause and reevaluate. I think this is a big one because again, goal achieving, like resolutions, we want to get that done. We want to get this in a year, but it doesn't always have to be within a year or the time frame that we set. So sometimes we need to take a step back and say, either like this isn't going well, what would help it make it better if I continue going forward with it? Or is it healthy for me? Is this goal, yeah, running is healthy, but I have knee problems and it's not healthy at all. Is there something that's better for me in the long run to having a healthy goal or a healthy fitness goal? So knowing when to pause is important. Keeping up with your social support systems, having that connection to others, to not only reach out when you are struggling, but also to have something important. And then reaching out to your mental health supports when things become overwhelming is also very important as well. Um, so here are some mental health resources. We have the suicide prevention hotline, 24/7. And they have trained counselors. We have the behavioral health line, which is specifically for Massachusetts. Again, it's 24/7 hotline. They have trained counselors as well. You can call or text their number um, to reach out to somebody. If somebody is looking for something more in person or wants a counselor to come out to their home in our area in Northborough, we have the Advocates Mobile Crisis Team. They're 24/7 as well, 365 days a year. Similar to the other two, they are also on holiday, like open on holidays. They will physically come out to you if you're feeling in a moment of crisis. Um, Northborough is also right now partnered and pays for Interface, the helpline. This allows people who are looking for a mental health professional to speak with, either matching with like a therapist, psychologist. Northborough residents will be able to receive that personalized match. They will look into your insurance and match you with a therapist. And last but not least, we have NAMI's helpline. NAMI is National uh mental health. It's mental health line. I'm messing up their name right now. But basically a lot of their services are helping with people with mental health diagnosis, also supporting family members with mental or who support somebody with a mental health diagnosis. Anybody can reach out to them. They have a national service one-on-one emotional support. They provide mental health information, and then also helping friends, family who are facing challenges. Um, Things just to remember. Um, Also, everyone's on a different timeline. Go at the speed that works best for you. Be kind to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. We're all not perfect. Sometimes we really want to make those goals and we might make some mistakes in the way, but being kind to ourselves, learning from them, and continue growing. Your mental health matters and your progress, more than your progress. You can always come back to a goal if it isn't working out and it's really stressing you out more than being helpful. Your mental health matters more in the long run. Progress does not need to always be showcased. Sometimes it makes us feel nice, but also like we don't have to feel pressured to show it. And then really please seek professional help when things become too much because you're not alone. There are people willing out there to help, even reaching out to your support systems if needed as well. There is help out there if things are becoming too much, stressful, or you're feeling like you're going into a crisis yourself. Also, you can reach out to us along with those other resources. You can reach us on our main line, or you can contact me on my personal cell phone, or not cell phone, or email me if you have any questions or if you need any support, services, resources. I'm always here to help out. I even have drop-in hours at the libraries on Tuesdays. The first, third, and fifth of the month are from 3 to 5. The second and fourth are from 5 to 7. So reach out if you need any help, assistance, or if you have any questions. And thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Lots of great insights there as we start the 2026. Thanks for joining us. And we also want to give a shout out to Northborough Media Connection for recording this so they can be available to all those who would want to watch this at a later time. And stay tuned for our February Lunch and Learn, which will be featuring our health agents. Everything that you need to know about what they do on a day-to-day basis. It's actually quite interesting, things I